The disappearance of a respected community leader in Imo State has ended in tragedy after troops of the Nigerian army uncovered his remains inside a shallow grave hidden in a forest believed to have been used as a criminal hideout. Chief Ibe Anyado, a community leader from Aga in Ohaji Ibema local government area of Imo State, was found dead after he was allegedly kidnapped and murdered by a criminal gang. His remains were discovered during an intelligence-led military operation carried out by troops of the 34th Artillery Brigade, Owerri, under Operation Udoka, as part of Operation Eastern Sanity 2. The discovery has once again drawn attention to the security challenges facing communities in the southeast, where residents have continued to deal with cases of kidnapping, armed attacks, and criminal activities carried out from remote forest locations. According to the Nigerian Army, the operation that led to the discovery followed a series of intelligence activities targeting criminal networks operating within Imo State. The acting Deputy Director of Army Public Relations, 82 Division, Lieutenant Colonel Olabisi Olalekan Ayeni, disclosed that the breakthrough came after troops arrested suspected linked to the killing of a Nigerian army soldier and recovered stolen service weapons. During interrogation, one of the suspects reportedly confessed to participating in the killing of Chief Anyado and provided information that helped security operatives locate the burial sites. The army said the suspects later guided troops to Umudike Forest, where the remains of the missing community leader were discovered. In a statement, the military revealed that on August 2, 2026, troops entered the forest area and uncovered the shallow grave where Chief Anyado had been buried.
You saw some freshly dug graves, and we brought out some corpses and putting them inside body bags. You've equally seen some vehicles which were vandalized for sale. So generally, you've seen what is happening, the bad acts of these bad boys.
The recovery operation was carried out in the presence of the deceased family's members, vigilance personnel from Ohaji Ibema local government area, and representatives of the Aga and Umudike communities. For the family of Chief Anyado, the discovery brought a painful end to days of uncertainty, where the recovery allowed them to finally take their loved one home. It also confirmed the worst fear surrounding his disappearance. Family members reportedly provided a coffin and ambulance to ensure that his remains were transported respectfully for burial according to local traditions. But beyond the tragedy of one family, the incident raises a bigger question about the continued existence of criminal camps across parts of Imo State and other areas of the southeast. For years, security agencies have carried out operations aimed at dismantling armed groups accused of kidnapping, attacking communities, and targeting security personnel. However, despite several raids and arrests, criminal networks continue to exploit difficult terrains, especially forests and isolated locations, to hide, organize, and carry out attacks. The discovery of Chief Anyado's remains highlights the challenge facing security agencies, finding criminals before they strike rather than responding after lives have already been lost. The Nigerian Army says Operation Udoka remains focused on destroying criminal networks, recovering weapons, arresting suspects, and restoring peace across the region. Major General Oluremi Fadiro, commander of the Joint Task Force Southeast, Operation Udoka, assured the family of the deceased and residents of Aga community that those responsible for the killing will face prosecution. He also expressed condolences to the family and promised the military operations would continue until criminal elements are removed from communities across the southeast. The military has also encouraged residents to continue providing useful information to security agencies, saying intelligence from local community remains critical in identifying criminal hideouts and preventing attacks. However, while the Army has described the operation as a major achievement, some questions remain unanswered. Many residents affected by insecurity continue to ask why criminal groups are still able to establish camps and operate in forests despite repeated security operations. Communities often complain that security responses come after attacks have already occurred, leaving families to deal with devastating losses. The challenge for authorities is not only recovering victims and arresting suspects, but creating a security system capable of preventing kidnappings and violent attacks before they happen. The situation in Imo and other parts of the southeast has become a major security concern, with residents demanding stronger protection, more effective intelligence gathering, and sustained government presence in vulnerable communities. The recovery of Chief Ibe Anyado's remains may provide some closure to his family, but it also represents another reminder of the human cost of insecurity in Nigeria. Behind every security report are families who lost their loved ones, communities that live in fear, and citizens waiting for protection from those responsible for safeguarding their lives. As investigations continue, attention will now focus on the suspects arrested and whether they will provide further information about the criminal network allegedly responsible for the killing. The success of the operation will ultimately depend on whether security agencies can use this breakthrough to dismantle the wider network behind the crime and prevent similar tragedies in the future. For the people of Aga community, the hope is that the death of Chief Anyado will not become another unresolved case, but a turning point in the fight against criminal activities in the region. The question now is whether this latest operation will weaken criminal groups operating in Imo State, or whether more comprehensive measures will be needed to bring lasting security to affected communities. For more news reports, stay with us on First Next News. I'm Chidera Isom. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next reports.